Okay, so we've talked about doing some multi-table queries. Let's try to put one together that will answer a specific question that will involve several of the things we've talked about so far in this class that talks about multi-tables, it talks about having, filtering. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to create a query that's going to show me the total population of all countries that have a specific language as their official language. And then I want only those languages that have more than 300 million people who speak that language within those countries. So here's what I want to do. Let me look at my ER diagram. So I'm going to need the name of the country, and I'm going to need the population of the country, and then I'm going to need its official language. So we're going to put this together in several passes. So we're not going to do this all at once. We're going to put it together a little bit at a time. So I want to select the language, and I also need the language, and I need a total of the population. I'm going to say, and I'm going to call that speakers. So that's going to give me the total number of people who speak that language, or assumed who speak that language. Whoops, that wasn't what I wanted. There we go. Total number of population in countries that have that language as their official language. All right, I'm going to do this from my country language. And I want to alias that as L. And I'm also going to want from the country table, and I'm going to want to alias that as C. Now, we're going to join the two together in a where clause. So I'm going to say where C dot, so country dot code equals L from the language table, country code. And so you can see here we're joining, ER diagram, C.code with the language country code. Okay, so that should give me, actually that won't work, because if I try to execute it, you're going to see we have an error. I have an aggregation here, sum of population. I don't have my language as part of my group yet. So I'm going to say group by language. And then that will run that, and that will tell me for every language what the total number of speakers I have in countries with that as an official language. All right. Now, I want to filter these groups down, so I'm going to use a having clause. Having speakers greater than 300 million. And that should give me a whole bunch of them. Now, I also want ones where it's only the official language. So you're going to see here English, Spanish, French, Portuguese. But then you're going to see a bunch of other ones here as well. But a lot of these aren't official languages. So just to show you that, I'm going to go ahead and add is official. And I'm going to have to group that by is official as well, because if I have a aggregate function, everything else has to be in either an aggregate function or in a group by. And you're going to see a bunch of these are not official languages, and I only want official ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my is official there, and I'm going to add to the where clause and is official equals true. So now it'll just give me things that are official languages and total number of speakers or total number of people in those countries that have that as the official language. And now I have 4: English, Spanish, Chinese, and Hindi. Now I want to organize that. So I'm going to use an order by speakers. And I want that in descending order. And execute my query. And there we go. Languages that have Chinese as the official language are the most populous, followed by languages that have Hindi, then English, or countries that have Hindi, English, and Spanish. So we've put together several different things here. We're doing two different tables. We're joining them together using the where clause. We're doing an aggregate function. We're using aliases. We're using a conjunction in our where clause. We're grouping by. We're filtering using the having function, and then we're ordering by. So this kind of ties together. This little example kind of ties together everything that we have covered so far in querying databases in MySQL.